Welcome, 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 everyone. My name is Sunshine Day, and it is a joy to have you here with me today. This is conversation and meditation, and the way it works is I have a conversation with you. You have a conversation with me. The way you have a conversation with me is by entering your thoughts, your ideas in the chat. So, throughout our show today, I'm going to invite you to post your comments in the chats. Beloveds, this show is geared towards those in recovery. However, you do not have to be in recovery in order to benefit from the conversation and the meditation. Today's topic is fear, F-E-A-R, fear. And I know that there are many, many acronyms for fear. Some of it is F everything and run. Some are even false evidence appearing real, or face everything and recover. And whichever one you use, I'm going to have a conversation with you today around how fear is classified with stealing or with robbery, because what it does is it takes us away from the present moment, and it also prevents us from really fully living in this moment, which is the only moment that we have. And so if you have an acronym for fear, F-E-A-R, go ahead and put it in the chat. I would love to hear what those are and read what those are. And if you're facing fear right now for some reason, I'd also love to hear a little bit about that. What I know is through some other conversations that I've been having, a lot of people are experiencing fear as they're in recovery, but also dealing with the stresses of COVID-19. And now COVID, the holidays coming upon us, and recovery. Like, it just seems like there's just a mountain of things piling up, and before you know it, could hardly peek your eyes out, right? So, as people in recovery, or just as human beings, we take a look at fear from the perspective of false evidence appearing real. Let's even just take the first one, F everything and run. You know, the tendency for many is when fear paralyzes us, or when fear is upon us, we're either thinking that there's something that we're not going to get, something that we want that we're not going to have, something that I have is going to be taken away from me. There are fears of honesty. There's all types of fear of success, fear of failure. And yet, if we use that first acronym of F everything and run, we're never, ever, ever going to live in the present moment, especially as people in recovery. We're never actually going to recover. And the reason for that is because we're never living fully in each and every moment and dealing with life on life's terms. Now, what's also important as we look at the second one, face everything and recover, or false evidence appearing real. Let's look at that one, false evidence appearing real. If we take the stand that whatever is before me is false, that it is not the truth of who I am, we begin to have actually a different perspective, a perspective that maybe how I am seeing this is not necessarily the reality of it all. For instance, someone sues you, or someone talks about you. Immediately, the idea is, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have any friends anymore. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. Or I don't have any money to pay. And immediately, if you can even hear it in my voice, the rushing of false evidence, they are appearing real, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's real. And so when we begin to actually see it for what it's worth and call it false, this is false evidence appearing real, we actually have an opportunity now to actually pause and ask, what is real? What is real? So if you ever had a situation, go ahead and make a comment on that right now, just so that I have some ideas of what's happening for you, right? False evidence appearing real. And when we pause and recognize that it's false, we have the opportunity to then, FEAR, face everything and recover. We can only look and see at what is before us with and through the eyes of love, through and with the eyes of peace, with and through the eyes of joy. And when we're doing that from a sober perspective, again, sober meaning without intoxicants, right? Whether it's stress and drugs, alcohol, whether it's sexual addiction, whether it's shopping addictions, whatever addictions, when we are sober, when we are without intoxicants, without those things that distract us from living our full life, and fear is upon us, we get to face everything and recover. We get to actually really see that what is before us is not necessarily the truth, but we also get to simply open up and begin a practice of looking beyond the appearance. And beyond the appearance is the answer. Now, the only reason we have fear is because there's something else underneath. There's something else underneath that fear. And in lots of studies, what the studies have showed is that what is underneath that fear is the operation of ego. Take that in for a minute. That the only reason we have fear is because our ego is in full effect. Now, an acronym for ego has been edging God out or edging good out. In other words, the ego just exacerbates and enlarges things way beyond what they're supposed to, and makes it seem as though there's no way out, or puts you into survival mode. There's no way out, so you got to do this. There's no way out, so you got to do that. You got to retaliate. You got to react. But this ego is never about responding. And when we face everything and recover, it is about responding. It is about pausing. It's about taking that pause. And if ego is in full effect at that moment and edging good out or edging God out, that indwelling presence that is always there for our good, and it is a powerful good in the world and we can use it, then we can actually rename ego and actually use what a friend of mine says is entertain God only. EGO, the new EGO. Entertain God only. Tell me what you think about that. The other way to put it is entertain good only. So instead of being fearful and in the doom and gloom and in the anxiety that is caused, we can actually be in the entertaining good only and begin to actually shift and train our brain that instead of running, instead of not recovering and being scared, that we can train our brain to actually begin to entertain good only. Now imagine in fearful situations, you entertaining amazing outcomes. Like, what are the possibilities of amazing outcomes? I know I'm scared in this moment, but what are the amazing outcomes that can come from this? I know that we've heard many, many times, only good can come of this. Or maybe you haven't heard of that, but that is a phrase that I tell myself, especially when I am riddled with fear. When the ego is telling me that something bad's going to happen and that it's all going to be messed up, what I do and what I tell myself is only good can come of this. Something great must come of this. Something good must come of this. And I entertain good only instead of F everything and run, right? I face everything and recover. Now, I learned a technique not too long ago from a dear colleague of mine, Kathy Ann Lewis. And it's been a technique that she's been using for quite a long time. And that is that when we're feeling fear, and doom and gloom, many people begin to look down. And when you look down, if you don't mind, try that with me right where you are. Begin to look down and think about the fear. And when you look down and when your eyes are cast downward, the only answers that you get are answers that are around doom and gloom. But now just take a moment to just lift your head. Now you're at normal position, but now lift your head like 45 degrees and look up. Look up. And what happens is you can also ask yourself the question, what if, and look up. What if up? Well, what if this is actually for my highest good? What if something good is going to come of this? What if this is just a lesson that I need to learn? What if this is just an exercise in me staying sober? What if this is just, a way that I can fully be present? And if I begin to simply just shift my head up and look up to the hills or look up to life and look up, all of a sudden, my purview, my perspective is a lot larger than when I'm looking down. And so in moments of fear, we can face everything and recover by looking up and by actually entertaining questions. What if this is for my good? What if? And then we begin to entertain good only. I think that that's a practice that can be used by anyone, whether you're someone who's in recovery or whether you're someone who's not in recovery, and maybe you know someone who's in recovery. But this is just a simple practice. And especially now in these days and times where people are thinking about what they're going to do for the holidays, how they're going to stay safe and protected. Some folks are experiencing health challenges, financial challenges, challenges in their romance and in their lives. And then on top of that, how you stay sober, how you stay clean, how you stay without these intoxicants during this time. It's so easy to just simply look up and say, what if this is for my highest good? What if I can get on the other side of this and come out successful? What if this is for my highest good? What if this is going to make me a stronger person, a stronger individual, a stronger male or female? Or what if this makes me a stronger mother or father? Yeah, Aaron, by looking up, I can physically feel this weight in my chest begin to lighten. Thank you so much for that, because that is indeed the ways that just this simple practice lifts us from fear and doom and gloom and wraps us in this, I'm going to run, to, oh, wait a minute. I feel lighter. So thank you, Aaron, for sharing that with us, because immediately, just by looking up, you don't feel that weight of the problem or of the fear. And you can begin to simply be open to solutions. And that's the key, is that when I'm present, I am now open to grand divine inspiration and grand divine solutions that actually eliminate the fear. And that's because we're entertaining good only, or entertaining God only. And that is the if you will, the spiritual remedy to fear. And that's what we're about here, is simply providing a spiritual remedy so that on a day-to-day basis that we're successful in staying clean and staying sober and staying free from the intoxicants of the world. The world would have us bombarded with all kinds of things. I mean, if you turn on the news for 15, 20 minutes, it can begin to feel quite heavy. But now we actually have a spiritual tool, a spiritual remedy for that fear, for that doom, for that gloom, as we begin to entertain good only, entertain God only, and we look up. And the questions that we ask is, what if up? That's how I remember it. What if up? What if this is for my highest good? What if I stay sober through this? What if this is for my strength and for my wellness and for my wholeness? What if this is actually a gift and a blessing? What if? And so I encourage you to use that whenever you find yourself feeling fear, whenever you find that ego is kind of like edging good out or edging God out or telling you you have to go into survival mode, especially as recovering people. When ego tells you that a drink or a fix or a pill or shopping or engaging in those extracurricular activities that are not for your highest good, when ego tells you that that's the answer, we get to turn that around and entertain good only, and then look up and remind ourselves that something good must come of this situation. Something good must be the outcome. And with that, I'd like to invite us into a meditation. And this will be a guided meditation. So if you're comfortable, I want to thank you in advance for your participation. And I want to invite you to just simply find a place where you can be still. Now, it doesn't have to be a place where you are in total silence and total quiet. So remember that a meditation practice is simply bringing your focus and your attention to one thing. And we're just honing in that skill a little bit at a time. And so if during this meditation you do it even for just a few minutes, it's a success and it's working. It's the practice and the practice and the practice that makes you better and better at this. So I'm going to joyfully say, assume the position. And that position is just a position of stillness with an open heart, with a willingness and a joy to experience that which is for our highest and our best. And if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, it's okay. Simply cast your gaze upon something inspiring, or let your eyelids close halfway to just this gentle way of being. Again, if there's noise around you, don't worry about it. It's just confirmation that you're alive and that all is well. It's confirmation that your ears are working, and that's a good thing. And you can bring your attention to whatever's happening outside of you. And now I'm going to ask you to bring your awareness to your breath. And as you bring your awareness to your breath, begin to just notice the natural rhythm of your breath. And the natural rhythm of your breath is perfect. That's entertaining good only. The natural rhythm of my breathing is perfect. And noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. Now bring your attention and your awareness to the space between the breath. It's that space where your inhale becomes your exhale, and your exhale becomes your inhale. So just notice that, and notice the natural silence that comes with that. And if you find your mind drifting away from that space between the breath, simply remind yourself, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. And again, begin to bring your attention to that space between your breath. Notice and see if you can pinpoint exactly when your inhale becomes your exhale and when exactly your exhale becomes your inhale. Just see if you can notice that. And as you remind yourself that your breathing is perfect, let's simply entertain good only. Let's entertain God only. So, entertaining good only sounds like, my life is amazing. All is well in this moment. Again, entertaining it means that you're just watching it. You may or may not fully agree with it yet, but just like you're watching a movie, you're being entertained, you're entertaining the movie's entertaining you. We're just entertaining good. We're just watching the good. I have clothes on today, even if they're my pajamas. I have breath. I may have some money in my pocket. I have love in my life. I care about people. People care about me. I have internet. I have a telephone. I have television. I use public transportation to get me around. That's so good that I can get around. I have a car that I can use to get around. My ears are working. I can see. I can see with my glasses. I can walk. You might even say to yourself, wow, I can walk with a walker. That's entertaining good. I get to work today. I have food in the refrigerator. Or someone shared some food with me. Entertaining good could even be, I went to the food bank today and enjoyed the generosity of so many people. There's sidewalks in my neighborhood, so I don't have to walk on the streets. There are traffic lights that tell me when I can cross safely. I have shoes on my feet. I have feet. And so, from this place of entertaining good only, I now invite you to gently open your eyes and behold what is now around you and surrounding you. And name that good, whether it's lights, shelter, a chair to sit on, pictures, whether it's the green grass or the trees or the fresh air of your environment. Name it good and spend time entertaining good only, entertaining God only, and watch how your fear dissipates, and watch how your life is enriched and how your recovery flourishes, especially when you don't have those intoxicants to distract you from all the good that's in your life. Thank you so much for being with us today. I so appreciate you and your conversation and your time. Please remember, trust life. Trust life. Oh, Patty Coleman, I have a kitten sleeping in my lap. Oh, isn't that so great, Patty Coleman? I love you so much. Absolutely, those great things in life. And so thank you so much again for being with us. Remember to trust life, to clean house, meaning get rid of those things that no longer serve you, that no longer bring you joy, and help others, which means help yourself as well and love yourself. Until the next time, know that you are loved and valued and cherished, and I so appreciate you. Bye for now.
Celebrate life. You celebrate your life. Celebrate the memories, the birds and the trees, the hugs and the kisses, the hits and the misses.